Welcome, listeners, to Daily English Talk.
Hi everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today we have a very exciting topic for you. Have you ever noticed that the English you learn in books sounds completely different from the English you hear in movies or on the street?
Oh, definitely, Bella. When I first went to the United States, I thought I knew English perfectly because I studied grammar for years. But when people started using real everyday expressions, I was totally lost.
Exactly, Alex. School English teaches you the rules, but street English is what Americans actually say in real life. It is more casual, fast, and natural.
That is why in this episode, we are going to look at some of the most common street expressions compared to school English. By the end of this video, you will sound much more like a native speaker.
Yes, and make sure you pay close attention because we have a great challenge for you later in the video to test your skills. Let's get started right now.
Alright, let's start with a classic example. In school, we all learn to greet people by saying, "How are you?" or "How do you do?" But honestly, if you walk into a coffee shop in New York and say that, you might sound like a textbook.
That is so true, Alex. In reality, Americans usually say, "What's up?" or "How's it going?" It is much faster and sounds way more relaxed. When someone says, "What's up?" they are just asking what is happening in your life right now.
Exactly. And another big difference is how people say yes. In school, we are taught to always say, "Yes, of course." But on the street, you will hear people say, "Yep," "Yeah," or even "Uh-huh." It is simple, but it completely changes how natural you sound.
Now let's talk about money. In a classroom, a teacher will tell you that a currency unit is $1. But if you watch an American movie, you will hear characters say buck or bucks. For example, instead of saying $10, they say $10.
I remember being so confused by that word the first time I heard it. Another great example is the phrase, "I don't know." In school, we practice pronouncing every single letter. On the street, Americans often shorten it to "dunno." They just say it all as one quick sound.
It really saves a lot of energy. And that is the secret of street English. It is all about making the language flow easily during a conversation.
Another huge difference is how we express our feelings about plans. In school, you learn to say, "I am very excited about this event." But in everyday life, Americans often use the phrase, "I'm pumped." It shows a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
I love using that expression. It really shows that you are ready and eager. Now, what about when you want to tell someone to relax or stop worrying? In a school setting, the textbook might say, "Please remain calm and do not be anxious." But on the street, people just say, "Chill out."
Yes, chill out is perfect for those moments. And speaking of relaxing, think about food. When you are very hungry, a teacher might say, "I am famished." But a native speaker on the street will look at you and say, "I am starving." They might even suggest to go, "Grab a bite," which just means to buy some quick food to eat.
That is a great one, Alex. Grab a bite sounds so friendly and casual. Also, think about how people say goodbye. School English always reminds us to say, "Goodbye, until next time." But if you want to sound natural, you should use expressions like, "Catch you later," or simply, "Take care."
Exactly. It is all about those small adjustments that make your conversation smoother. Street English is not wrong English. It is just the living, breathing language that people use when they are comfortable with each other.
Well said, Alex. Now that we have covered how Americans actually communicate in real life, it is time to look closely at some of the specific words we used. Let's make sure our friends can use them properly. Let's look at our first word, which is buck. A buck is simply an informal word for an American dollar. People use it all the time when talking about prices in a casual way. For example, you can say, "This cup of coffee only cost me $3. Now, your turn to practice." Repeat after me, buck.
Word number 2 is dunno. This word is a quick, short way of saying, I don't know. Native speakers use it in casual conversations when they do not have the answer to something. For example, you can say, "Where are my keys?" I dunno. Now your turn to practice. Repeat after me, dunno.
Our third word is pumped. When you are pumped, it means you are very excited, enthusiastic, or full of energy about something that is going to happen. For example, you can say, "I am absolutely pumped for the football match tonight. Now, your turn to practice." Repeat after me, pumped.
The fourth word is starving. This is a common word that people use when they are extremely hungry. Instead of saying, "I want to eat," you use this to show that you need food right away. For example, you can say, "Let's get some dinner, I'm starving." Now your turn to practice. Repeat after me, starving.
Now, let's review all 4 words together: buck, dunno, pumped, and starving. Try to put one of these words into a sentence right now and write it in the comments below. We want to see your examples.
You guys did an amazing job today. Learning the difference between school English and street English is a huge step toward understanding native speakers and feeling more comfortable when you watch movies or travel.
Absolutely, Alex. Remember, you do not need to change everything overnight. Just try to use 1 or 2 of these expressions next time you practice. If you enjoyed this video and want to sound more natural in English, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and share this video with your friends.
Thank you so much for watching and for learning with us today. Keep practicing, stay casual, and we will catch you later in the next episode. Bye everyone.
Bye guys. Take care.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more lessons.